Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, guys, hold on to your hats because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Washington Commanders. And honestly, it's the kind of move that could set us up for a serious playoff push, and maybe even a shot at that elusive Super Bowl title we've all been dreaming about. Rumors are swirling that the Commanders might be making a bold move to acquire Budda Baker from the Arizona Cardinals. And if this deal goes through, it could reshape the entire NFC East landscape. So let's break down what's happening, what it means, and why it's such a big deal for us fans. First off, let's talk about who Budda Baker is. This guy is a true star in the NFL, a safety who's been a cornerstone for the Cardinals for years. He's only 29, but he's already got a reputation for being versatile, intelligent, and a playmaker. Baker is known for his coverage skills, especially when it comes to reducing big plays. He's the kind of safety who can do it all. He's a player who can cover tight ends, help in run support, and even blitz when needed. Over the 2025 season, Baker was pretty solid, racking up 120 tackles, with 57 solo and 63 assisted, along with half a sack, an interception, 5 pass deflections, and 4 tackles for loss. His overall PFF grade was around 51. 6, which might not be elite, but it's certainly respectable, especially considering the role he plays on defense. His run defense rating was 76. 6, which indicates he's decent against the run, but it's his coverage that really stands out. He's got a knack for stepping up when the team needs him most, and that's exactly what the Commanders need going forward. Now, why are the Cardinals looking to move Baker? Well, Arizona is currently sitting at a brutal 3-14 record, and they're clearly in a rebuild mode. They're trying to free up cap space after giving up an average of 28 points per game, not exactly the kind of season you want as a team. The Cardinals are looking to reset, and that means trading some key players. Baker, who costs around $14 million in 2026, is one of those pieces. The rumors suggest that the Cardinals could be looking for a first-round pick in 2026 in exchange for Baker, which makes sense given his talent and impact. The trade, if it happens, could free up around $10 million in cap space for Arizona, helping them rebuild more effectively. But here's where it gets exciting for us. The Washington Commanders, with a roster that's already showing promise, could use a player like Baker to solidify that secondary. Our defensive backfield has been decent, but adding a top-tier safety like Baker could elevate our coverage, reduce the number of big plays allowed, and give us more flexibility against high-powered offenses. Last season, our secondary gave up around 320 to 360 yards per game, which is a bit high, especially when you're trying to contend in the playoffs. Baker's presence could cut down on those big plays, maybe by as much as 20%, and help us tighten the screws on opposing offenses. Let's not forget, the Commanders are sitting with a modest cap space of around $94 million, which is plenty to make a splash if the deal is right. The potential acquisition of Baker could boost our coverage EPA, expected points added, by around 12%, making us more formidable against the pass. His ability to add around 5 tackles per route against current safeties would make our pass defense not only more reliable, but also more aggressive. Plus, his history of creating turnovers with 8 interceptions in his career adds that extra layer of playmaking we've been missing. A safety like Baker can be a true X-factor, especially in close games where every play matters. Now, some analysts are cautious, pointing out that trading for Baker isn't without risks. The Cardinals are reportedly skeptical about losing a player with such instinctive awareness and leadership in the secondary. They're in a rebuilding phase, and sometimes trading a key player might hurt their long-term prospects. Still, the potential reward for the Commanders is huge. Bringing Baker into our fold could boost our defense significantly, making us a more well-rounded team. It's not just about filling a need. It's about elevating our entire secondary and giving our defense that extra edge to challenge teams like the Eagles and Cowboys in the NFC East. And speaking of the NFC East, this division is already stacked with talent. The Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, all teams with potent offenses and aggressive defenses. Adding a player like Baker would put Washington right in the thick of that competition, maybe even pushing us into the top 15 defenses in the league. That's the kind of boost that can turn a good team into a playoff contender. If the trade goes through, it could even send shockwaves through Las Vegas betting circles. Right now, the Commanders are sitting with playoff odds of around 7-0 to 20-0, which is not great. But with a move like this, those odds could shift dramatically, maybe even as high as plus 500 for a Super Bowl run. Talking about the bigger picture, this move would signify a clear message from the franchise. We're serious about contending now, not just rebuilding. It's a statement that the Commanders are ready to make a splash, to go all in on a Super Bowl push, and to finally shake off the years of mediocrity. Baker's leadership, combined with our young core, could be the perfect recipe for success. Think about the impact on our draft strategy, our cap management, and the locker room chemistry. We'd be adding a veteran presence and a proven playmaker who's still in his prime. Let's take a moment to analyze the historical context of the Commanders' defensive strategies and how a player like Baker could fit into that legacy. Historically, the franchise has been known for its tough, physical defenses, especially during the 1980s and early 2000s under coaches like Joe Gibbs and later, in the early 2010s, with a focus on aggressive secondary play. Players like Sean Taylor, one of the most feared safeties in NFL history, set the standard for what a Washington safety could be: instinctive, hard-hitting, and a true game-changer. Baker, with his playmaking ability and leadership, could bring back that kind of swagger to the secondary. In recent years, the defense has struggled with consistency, especially in the secondary, where injuries and lack of playmakers have hampered the unit's overall effectiveness. The acquisition of Baker could help reverse that trend, restoring a sense of identity and confidence. His leadership qualities, on-field intelligence, and versatility could help develop the younger players like Cam Curl and Derek Forrest, who have shown promise but need guidance and steadying influence. The secondary could become a real strength, especially if Baker's presence encourages more aggressive coverage schemes and more turnovers. Now, looking at the expectations for the upcoming 2024 season, the Commanders' roster is on the cusp of something special, with a strong offensive line led by Andrew Wiley and Charles Leno Jr., a dynamic running game spearheaded by Brian Robinson Jr., and a promising young quarterback in Sam Howell. The pieces are falling into place. However, defense remains the missing piece, and acquiring Baker would be a significant step towards balancing the roster. The defense ranked around 17th overall last season, but with the addition of a player like Baker, that ranking could easily jump to the top 10, making us a more feared unit across the league. Furthermore, the NFC East, historically one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, has seen shifts in power dynamics over the past few years. The Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts and a dominant defensive line, have established themselves as a perennial powerhouse, reaching the Super Bowl in 2023 and setting high standards for offensive and defensive excellence. The Cowboys, with their star-studded roster and a solid defense, remain formidable, especially on their home turf. The Giants, under new coaching and with a young core, are looking to climb the ranks. For Washington to step up and challenge these teams, strategic moves like acquiring a player of Baker's caliber are crucial. It's not just about making the playoffs. It's about establishing a winning culture and pushing for division supremacy. In terms of deep analysis, Baker's skill set aligns well with the modern NFL's emphasis on versatile safety play. He's not just a traditional safety. He's a hybrid who can line up in various positions, blitz from the secondary, or drop back into zone coverage. His ability to read plays pre-snap allows him to anticipate routes and make plays on the ball, evident in his interception numbers and pass deflections. His tackling technique is solid, and he's known for wrapping up rather than arm tackling, which reduces missed tackles and big gains for opponents. From a scheme perspective, Baker's fit could be ideal for a defense that employs a mix of cover 2 and cover 3 schemes, with the flexibility to switch to man coverage against certain formations. His leadership qualities could also influence the overall defensive mentality, fostering a more aggressive and disciplined approach. This could be especially significant in close-game situations, where plays like turnovers and critical stops often determine outcomes. Now, let's focus on some individual player details. Baker has been a model of consistency in the NFL, but he's also shown flashes of brilliance. His career high in interceptions stands at 4, achieved in 2022, demonstrating his ball-hawking instincts. His tackling stats have been impressive, with over 500 total tackles across his career, including 120 in the 2025 season alone, which underscores his durability and work ethic. Players like Derek Forrest, a promising young safety, could benefit greatly from Baker's mentorship, potentially elevating the entire secondary. In the wider context of team building, acquiring Baker would also send a message to the league and to our division rivals that the Commanders are serious about winning. It would put the NFC East on notice, reminding everyone that Washington isn't just a team to overlook anymore. The franchise has been steadily improving, investing in key positions, and now, with the possibility of adding a top-tier safety, the trajectory points upward. Looking ahead, the future expectations are tantalizing. If the Commanders can complete this trade, they would not only improve defensively, but also send a strong signal of ambition. The goal would be to build a balanced team capable of competing deep into the playoffs, possibly making a run for the NFC Championship and beyond. The core of young talent, including Howell, Robinson, and Jahan Dotson, combined with veteran leadership like Baker, could form the foundation of a team that challenges the NFL's elite for years to come. Finally, let's consider the broader NFL landscape. The league has shifted towards emphasizing versatile ball-hawking safeties who can impact the game in multiple ways. Players like Minkah Fitzpatrick, Tyrann Mathieu, and Kevin Byard have set the standard for what a modern safety can be: playmakers, leaders, and difference-makers. Bringing Baker into the fold would align Washington with this trend, making us more unpredictable and dangerous. In conclusion, whether this trade materializes or not, it's clear that the Commanders are eyeing bold moves to elevate their status in the league. The potential acquisition of Budda Baker would be more than just a roster addition. It would be a statement of intent, a signal that Washington is ready to contend seriously. Our defense, especially the secondary, is the key to unlocking that next level, and Baker could be the missing piece to make it happen. As fans, we should be excited, optimistic, and ready to rally behind whatever moves the front office makes. Our time is coming, and this could be the start of something truly special for the Washington Commanders. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Baker is the perfect fit for our defense? Are you excited about the possibility of adding this versatile safety? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news because things are heating up, and we're here to bring you all the inside info, analysis, and reactions. Let's go, Commanders. Word count now exceeds 10 characters. Total characters, approximately 650.